The Einar Jonsson Museum opened in 1923, and it was the first art museum which was open to public in Iceland. We are now in the sculpture garden belonging to the Einar Jonsson Museum. And Einar Jonsson was a pioneer of modern sculpture in Iceland. And his museum, which is dedicated to his works, is situated on the hill Skólavörðuholt, just opposite the Memorial Church of Hallgrímur Pétursson. And it was the first building to be built on this place. He even designed the house in collaboration with an architect. But all the forms, the design is the artists, not the architects. So indeed we can say it is the biggest sculpture from his hand. And we see this like a column. It is the staircase between the ground floor and the top. And in there was the flat, the couple's flat, with two small rooms and the drawing room. And in between we have this wall without windows. This is the gallery. And on the ground floor he had his studio and some parts of the apartment. And between the kitchen and the apartment there are 52 steps. Einar Jonsson went to Copenhagen when he was 19, and he first studied in the studio of the Norwegian sculptor Stefan Sinding, which he really considered as his mentor. He was very fond of Sinding's works. Later he even studied at the Royal Academy of Art. But his career starts in 1909 when he participated in the exhibition at Charlottenburg with the monumental sculpture The Outlaws, where the source is the Icelandic folklore, the tales of the outlaws. He later participated in a Danish group of sculptors. They called themselves the Independent Sculptors. And in one of the exhibitions, he participated with the monumental work, The Wave of the Ages, which we have an example of here in the sculpture garden in bronze. And the idea behind this is the idea of originality, the quest for originality, which was was principal for the artists at that period. And Einar Jonsson was very concerned about this idea his whole career. Even if he left, he left these ideas, but for later, and he became interested in theosophy, which he really concentrated himself on later. In Icelandic art history, and in the short history of modern art in Iceland, Einar Jonsson is one of the cornerstones of Icelandic modern art. And he lived abroad until 1920, but he was also very respected, and we have many monuments in the center of Reykjavík from his hand. And the most famous is, of course, of the settler of the country, Ingólfur Arnarson and Arnarhóll. And another one is just in front of the Parliament House in Austurvöllur. It's also a gentleman, Jón Sigurðsson, who was a pioneer of the struggle for independence in the 19th century. So he was very respected, and he still is, even if he wanted to withdraw from. He didn't want to be in the spotlight, but he was always very respected. And I think it's interesting that now in our postmodernist time, the younger generation is very fond of him. The younger artists, more than the artists of the modernists. So he had really come into the spotlight again, I think. And the garden, the sculpture garden, is extremely popular. The Einar Jonsson Museum and the sculpture garden, which is always open, it's a real pearl in the center of Reykjavík.